Hi everyone, this is the third book that I'm introducing in my short series on the books that I've been reading during lockdown. So indeed this is the third book I have bought and this year so far, so I have been breaking my rule of not buying books for a long time. But for some reason, I was drawn to the practice of herbalism during this lockdown period. And so I was trying to look for herbalism related classes. In Singapore, because I'm a Chinese, I am more familiar with the idea of traditional Chinese medicine. So why not just start from my own tradition? But what I feel from traditional Chinese medicine is that it feels more like asking for symptoms and then trying to treat the symptoms, although in a way it differs from the Western tradition in that it is to nourish the body. But while I was looking online, I saw that in the Western experience of herbalism, it is also pretty holistic, and in a way it seems to work a bit differently from the Chinese medicine, the TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, that I'm familiar. So I just decided to look at some herbalism classes and contemplating whether to get one or not to substitute my understanding of traditional Chinese medicine from my own. No, it's not really technical in a way, it's just more experiential. So while I was looking through herbalism courses, I came across this school called Evolutionary Herbalism from Sager Poppen. So I may have mispronounced his name somehow, but he's here on YouTube as well, and I will put a link down to his YouTube channel and also to his website in the description box. So as I was looking through his school, I noticed that he wrote a book, and I was contemplating to myself whether to get this book or not, because I haven't seen much review on it as well. But when I went to my local bookstore and found this book, I realized that it's actually very thick, and there are many diagrams and tables which looks more legit to me, and at the same time I'm really drawn to the idea of science, spirituality and medicine, which is essentially what I'm trying to mix together in my practice of tarot reading and all that. So I decided to just go along with it and buy this book. So I took a very long time to read this book, and I know that I will have to reread it again because it's not simple. There are a lot of ideas inside it, and such as astrology, alchemy. I have some ideas of astrology and alchemy, but even that in this context is very different from what I experienced. So to say the least, I have learned a lot from this book. The diagrams itself also helped me to center somehow in my understanding of what I've just read. So you can see from how I've been flipping the book so far, it's not those books which have a lot of diagrams of plants and then like a list beside it. So it's more of the concept, and probably if you are really interested on the herbs and all that, you might have to find an encyclopedia of some kind, to supplement the knowledge. So in the reading of this book, I keep getting very confused by mercury, because in alchemy we also have the idea of mercury, but then because there's also astrology involved here, so mercury is also a planet. So I have to keep reminding myself of that as I read through the book. And so as I said, if you really want a book where they just put a picture of the plant and the list, this book is not for you. What they have at the very least is why some examples of the plant are the way they are, and for me to read it and to imagine it, the form of the plant in relation to the planet, in relation to the alchemy format and other things, it's very interesting to me. So cause I'm a tarot reader, so I'm also quite happy to see that there's mention of the Kabbalah and the tarot cards and in the book itself. Although I have one thing to say about the tarot portion, is that it did throw me off that the Fool is designated as the first card. Why is this important? Because in one paragraph he talks about Emperor being related to the 5 in the tarots, because since Fool start from 1, so Emperor is now 5. But for us who read tarot, I believe you don't see it that way, right? I mean, for me, I see Emperor as card number 4. So the fours in the tarot should be related to the Emperor and not to the Empress, which is typically card number 3 in the tarot system. But then because Fool is 1, so Empress is 4, it just throws me off a bit. And the book tries to be a bit more personal in how Sager deals with the clients and how he reads the clients. But also, to me, most of the book anyway are pretty dry, so it did take me a long time to read because of this. And by the way, just as an ending note, if you buy this book, you'll be entitled to a few free chapters and free videos on his own website, but you just have to follow the steps he put out on his own website. So to end, I will give this book 4 out of 5 because of the tarot portion I mentioned just now. Granted that he may not, maybe there are just some back-end issues to be worked out on. Yeah, thank you.